A few weeks ago, I made a video about which are the best electricity buildings you can buy for money in City Skylines 2. And if you don't remember that, or you haven't watched the video, definitely make sure to check out the link in the video description and click on that if you want to watch it. Then I also realized, wait a minute, Mo. You haven't really made a video about electricity in City Skylines 2 yet, and how the distribution works and how you make it right. So, with that said, let's fix it. And let's do it right now. What do you have to look out for when you are building your electricity in City Skylines 2? Well, first, when you are starting out your city, don't think about it. It doesn't matter as long as you have the buildings which are producing enough electricity and you have enough streets which come automatically with the cables, you are completely fine and you don't have to think about it at all. Two tips, by the way, I can give you if you are a new builder and you have to wrestle with the electricity. If you're building wind turbines, please make sure that you are building the cables underground, right? You are going down and you don't try to do it overground because you cannot do that. So always go underground. It makes things so much easier. And then build some cables nearby the wind turbines and then they will automatically connect. It's a bit finicky. If you have problems with it, let me tell you, it's completely normal and you are getting used to it. Second thing, I really have to point out, please, when you are building bridges, keep in mind that bridges come without cables and without pipes, and you have to build them yourself. I had to learn that the hard way. So now you have been building your city for quite some time and it's becoming bigger and bigger, and you are now at like 10,000, maybe 15,000 people living in your city, and you might notice, what is that? Some of my buildings are not getting electricity, even though I'm definitely producing enough. What the hell is going on here? Well, the answer is you probably have a bottleneck somewhere in your city, and I created a bottleneck here artificially, but as you can see, this is where my electricity is coming from, and the electricity is now going through this one cable, and then later on it basically gets distributed through more cables around the city, and my city basically needs more than 40 megawatts the cable can handle right now, and this is how the bottleneck is getting created. Okay, what am I doing about that then? Well, there are multiple ways to do this. First thing is build more streets, because they're coming with more cables and you can distribute the cables just better, and so the 40 megawatts cables are not getting overloaded. Or you build them manually, right? And then you have more connections and you don't really create those bottlenecks. Wait, Mo, wait a minute here. You always say the 40 megawatts cable is creating a bottleneck. Now that's not right. It's 80 megawatts. Like, go over the cable. You can see it yourself, right? It can actually handle 80 megawatts. Well, no, because for what weird reason, this is not the same cable as the cable in your street. The cable in your street can only handle 40 megawatts. I don't know why the developers did this and why they decided to do this, but that's how it goes. Those are two different low voltage cables you can build. The one which you can build manually can handle up to 80 megawatts, and the one which is coming with the streets can only handle 40. And no, it doesn't really matter how big the street is. You can see it right here. I've already tested this to see like if maybe with a bigger street they can handle more megawatts, but that's not the case. So if you're running into bottlenecks, build some of the low electricity cables manually and distribute the electricity better underground. Okay, well, that helps and all, but Mo, I have to admit, my city is becoming bigger and bigger and the low voltage cables are not cutting it anymore. What am I doing? Well, there are two ways on how to handle this. You build multiple electricity buildings around the city and make sure that they are getting closer to the buildings which need said electricity. Or what's even easier to do is you are starting to build high voltage cables, preferably underground, as you can see right here, right? And then you are building transformation stations in the areas where they need a lot of electricity. You can see it right here. This is my little island, and the electricity is coming from the transformation station and is now making sure that my college, my high school, and my elementary school are actually getting the electricity they need, because thankfully they are smart buildings, right? They will take the electricity from the closest building which is producing or transporting said electricity. So even though they could just suck the electricity directly from this street, which I deactivated just to showcase this. Let me do this very quickly. There you go. And now normally this would be back, right? You would see that the electricity would normally flow through here, but instead you are actually now sending electricity over to the transformation station, and you are supporting this part of the city as well, and the bottleneck also disappeared. So build some transformation stations in the areas where you think that you actually need a lot of electricity and send it over there, and then the buildings will just grab that. One last tip I want to give you: please build a geothermal power plant. Yes, it costs quite a bit, especially per month, but believe me, you will make a shit ton of money from this. You can see it right here. Like, my electricity is actually making me more money than I actually have to pay for maintenance and resources. So please connect it to an outgoing connection whenever you are producing more electricity than you need, and make some good money from it. It's absolutely worth it. So get the geothermal power plant as quickly as possible, and then sell that electricity for a lot of bang for the buck. But with that said, we're at the end of the video. I hope it was helpful. If you still have some questions, let me know down below in the comments. And also, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to click on the like button. And if you're new to the channel, you want to see more City Skylines 2 tips and tricks videos, make sure to subscribe. But also don't forget, we are a strategy channel. So that means we are focusing on strategy games, building management games. That's what this channel is doing. So it's not just a City Skylines channel, but it's focusing on everything, which is strategy games. With that said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Stay safe. Bye-bye.